but there was no going to the bathroom for 40 years because the food digested completely in the body. This shows, of course, this was not natural times, but we don't believe that he changed the DNA of the people in their physical part. He only changed their spiritual part. He changed their spiritual part to train them that they could be satisfied, they didn't need anything, and that they were going to be filled from one day to the next. But this training, as I said, this DNA, taught the people to be able to say that God can do anything. And that's why we read it on Tuesday on the chapter of the Mana, to know that the Parnasa, that God gives you all that you need. And of course, it's always true that God says that God helps those that helps themselves. One has to do your work, to do your Parnasa, but God will give you everything you need if you follow the rules of God. So many people say they don't work, they just study, and got to provide. This carries it to an extreme, because one has to do the best you can during your life to work for jobs, but you have to remember that you can work at a job and make nothing, or you can work for 2 minutes a day and make millions if God wills it to be the case. And this is not fairy tales. Stock traders in 2 minutes can make $1 million, and they don't have to work the rest of their lives. Those people that do corporations that called startups, they put together the company and they sell them for billions, and their life is done for the work. They're finished. All they have to do is continue doing the mitzvahs, because God can give you the parnasa that you need in a second. And this lesson was supposed to be taught by having the mana to know that you can be fed and taken care of, and it was done for 40 years. So if the miracle of the sea is tremendous for one day, imagine what the miracle is for 40 years. 40 years of a beautiful miracle. So these two sections come in Parsha Beshalach, and we should remember, before we get into the Ten Commandments that comes up next week, that this powerful action of God training us so that we are in one position is part of those lessons. In addition, I'll finish with the second lesson is the same thing, is he taught us, ingrained in us about Shabbat, is that the manna was not to be gathered on Shabbat, we're not to work, because God gave us twice the portion on Friday to last. Didn't spoil. Every other day of the week is spoiled, but on Friday it didn't spoil, and to show us that we can be taken care of not only on Sabbath, but 7 days a week with parnasa, making a living. If we have faith in God and we do the mitzvahs, God said we will be a Jewish people that will be a light unto the nations, and will be able to do everything that people want us to have. Any questions, Avram?
Well, Rav, last week, in 2 weeks ago, we faced a miracle that what was subtle. Let's say the Moshe stick was eaten a stick of other magician, and the stick was not changed. Rav Mayas, I read in his essay that he explained that we have two type of miracles. One are above of physical phenomena, supernatural, but they are they are limited. And then you have like subtle or hidden who to provide unconditional or infinite blessing. This parsha is facing the biggest supernatural action that the sea was split and a couple of millions people went through without be wet or whatever, and even after when they saw they physically was experienced all these miracles, couple days of later they start complaining and they forgot that Hashem took them from the slavery. They forgot that for I don't know how many 200 years they were slaves.
210 years.
how I can understand this?
It's very difficult to understand because human beings are not gods. We are a creation that is both an animal and a spiritual being. And as a result, as an animal, our animal instinct tells us we have to constantly be worried about ourselves. And the whole point of why the manna and why the snakes is to try to get us, to encourage us to understand that God takes care of us, and that even though we're human, whatever God does for us is good, and will make it be taken care of. Human beings do not easily get trained, and we learn the stories to know that this is not a made-up story. This is what really happened. If we were writing the story to make it look good, we wouldn't have complaints in the story. But the people complain, and God answers it. He tells us just like today. As much as you love your children, as much as you love your wife, they will ask you for things, and they constantly have to be reassured. And the job of a man is to assure his wife and to assure his children.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. I would like to. So you're saying the connection from the Czechoslovakia, you explained.
Here's the connection to Czechoslovakia in my case, is that my dear sweet wife was on a plane to Czechoslovakia as we speak this minute to see her mother in halfway between Prague and Vienna. She's having an operation today, and she's going there to be with her to help her mother in that time. We're married for 7 years, and she's this holy woman from Czech here in Jerusalem.
Kvod Rav, you are coming from America, your background is from the States. How you get here, and how long you are here?
I'm here now. First trip to Israel was in 1985. I came on a mission where we were here to learn about Israel. I was raised in Chicago, and I didn't know anything about Israel. And as an adult, being a Jew in America, we think about Israel as being someplace else. And I came on the mission, and I fell in love with Israel. And I knew this is where I had to live. I prayed 3 times a day to be in Jerusalem, and now I'm in Jerusalem. After the first go around, I went to yeshiva for 5 years here. Then I went back to America. It has a place. One of my rabbis said that America is the place, Israel's the place of milk and honey, and America is the land of steak and money. In my case, I say God put me there, and I was able to earn a living so that I can be retired here and teach Torah and help anybody because of the fact that I spent the time in America. But God could have done it in other ways. Everybody has their own story, and everybody has their own life, and each person is necessary to God's picture. Otherwise, He wouldn't need you. One Rav says that your birthday is the day that God decided that the world couldn't live without you. And here we are.
Every day, almost every day, I think every day, I receive from you beautiful blog. And what is unbelievable, that it's coming so fresh. You are so actual. When you doing it? Because I woke up.
I spend half my day. If we're giving any plugs, I give a plug for myself. To join my blog, send an email to YEHUDALAVE. It's Yehuda Lave at gmail.com. YEHUDALAVE at gmail.com for my blog. I take everything I learn from the learning, from journalism, from jokes, to put it together in a daily piece that makes it feel I have completion. In the old days, I would be a newspaper columnist. I'd write a column, but newspapers are gone. Many cities don't have newspapers anymore, period. Books are passé, even though there's some books like the Torah will never be passé. Here's 2 that teach about Jewish philosophy. Kusari by one of my namesakes, Yehuda Lave. Leve, I'm Yehuda Lave, Lave, but that teaches us about Jewish philosophy. Victor Miller, Rejoice, O Youth, is the same type of philosophy as a Kusari. Understand that these are not stories. This is the real thing. When God speaks, every word in the Torah is true, and the longer we live, the sooner we see that the truth of the Torah is how we should live our lives. Please remember to ask for my blog. It's free, and I'll give you any help you need.
I will write the link.
Thank you.
So we wish to our dear friends in Czechia great Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.